So then when I'm sitting in front of a plate of donuts at a party and I'm about to reach for the donuts and break my keto diet, I'm not thinking my why is I want to go keto. I'm thinking this donut could lead me down a path where the relationship with my kids could be impacted. Welcome back to The Peaks Life. You're with Mike Warren and Lynn Fernie. Little bite-sized chunks of wellness wisdom to brighten your day and power you through.
Indeed.
And we're talking about finding your why. I've chosen this one because a lot of people say, I want to lose weight, I want to tone up, want to get fit, want to start exercise. They want to do something. And when we challenge them with why, they struggle to find their why. And then when you challenge them with why and why and why and dig a bit deeper, it's this superficial, I want to lose weight just because. So what I want to do is to dig into a bit of a process that I know we use, and we use it at the Peaks Academy, we use it when people come in and go through the process, is to understand what is the why, what is the what, and what is the how type process. So let's start with that first of all. Why is why a problem?
Why is why a problem? Well, you know, I think that a lot of people, they start out on a journey and they've got a bit of a reason. Maybe their friend's doing something, they go to the gym, they want to lose weight, whatever it is, they've just embarked on something. It could be their new fad.
Yes,
And
I read it somewhere.
You know, and then all of a sudden you hear them making excuses, finding reasons why they can't do it. And, you know, the reason that happens with a lot of people, and you hear the saying, I've fallen off the wagon. Yeah, I went keto, but I fell off the wagon. I did this, but it was too hard. I did that, but it didn't fit in my lifestyle. And they come up with all of these excuses and reasons why it didn't work, or they blame the diet or the exercise program for it not working. But often a lot of the reason is because they actually don't know what their why is.
Yes, or their why is not compelling enough or not strong enough to outweigh the challenges, because there's going to be challenges and there's going to be barriers, and they haven't got a strong enough or compelling enough why to push them through when the shit gets real.
You know, the wellness thing is hard.
Yes, and it's a long game. We do say that.
And it is a long game. We do say it.
Yeah, we said it a couple of times.
It's not an overnight thing. You don't get success and results overnight. You do deserve it. So everybody deserves amazing results, but they're not going to happen instantly. And you've got to put some work in. It's a bit like investing. Sure, some people get a lucky break, but a lot of people, when it comes to investment, you know, they try and they try and they try again. They do their research, they get the knowledge, you know, they really work out their strategy, and they figure out, you know, what's going to work, and eventually over time their money starts to return. They put their money in, they invest, and it returns. It's like building a property. You know, you build a property or you buy a property, and they say that property goes in 30-year cycles. So you're not going to buy and sell unless you're really good at flipping or you're in an amazing market. For most people, you buy a property, 20 or 30 years later, you might have made yourself a really nice profit. And wellness is just like that. It's a big investment, and it can deliver some amazing results. But you've got to be sure why you're doing it, and you've got to know what the challenges are along the way. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right with this one, Mike.
And the why, well, no surprises there. I think the why will drive you to make it sustainable, make it achievable, and as you say, get the results. I think without being crystal clear and articulating a why, and we would often suggest people should write down their why, so that they've got that, sort of they've got the visual impact. So let's go with some really simple examples, because those people tuning in might go, that sounds cool just to know why. But we talk about the 5 whys, and then we talk about barriers, and we talk about how we're going to overcome those barriers. So maybe just give an example of how we apply the 5 whys to someone who started on their wellness journey. Now, we're going to use, you know, whatever the example is today, but this could apply to starting keto, could apply to cold exposure, can apply to sleep, can apply to any aspect where you're going on a journey and someone says to you, why are you doing it?
It could be any aspect of your wellness journey. It could be big, could be small, doesn't matter.
Yes.
And really, just to explain, what we're trying to do is we're trying to dig a bit deeper.
Yes.
So you might
peel back the layers of the onion.
Peel back the layers of the onion. You might say on the surface, I want to do keto, but why do you want to do keto? And then we're going to go down and we're going to get deeper and deeper and deeper until we find a really strong motivation for what you're doing.
Okay.
And once we've found that, then that becomes really the thing that you're doing. And just a quick tip on this, the reason it's super important is, I'm going to give the weight loss example. If you say you're on a weight loss journey and you want to lose weight, And it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen instantly. It doesn't happen in your first day, your first 2 days. It doesn't happen in your first week, your first month. Well, you're gonna fail. Is how you're gonna feel. You're gonna feel really, let down by whatever diet you're following. You're gonna feel let down by whoever you're working with. You're not gonna trust the process. But if you have a deeper motivation for doing what you're doing, then you'll stick with it.
Absolutely.
So really important to dig deep and find out the true reason that you're doing something.
And when we do this, it's really quite surprising how many people haven't gone through the process and have no real understanding of what their true why is. They've just got this surface, I want to do this, but no one's actually taken them through the process and got to this is my primary reason why I am going on this journey.
Exactly right. And you can apply this process, by the way, to anything, career change, where you want to live, you want to move house. Apply it to anything. It's a standard process, and we're simply going to keep asking the question, why? So let's just do this one.
Do it.
Let me ask you. So, Mike, what's your goal?
I want to go on keto.
You want to go on keto. Interesting. Why do you want to go on keto?
Because I want to lose weight.
Okay. Mike, why do you want to lose weight?
I want to lose weight because I've got a dad bod, and I want to play with my kids because my kids are young and very, very energetic, and I want to keep up with the kids.
So why do you want to keep up with the kids?
Because I'm worried that if I don't keep up with the kids, I won't have that connection, and I'm not role modelling good behaviour, and I'll lose the connection with the kids because I won't physically be able to keep up with them.
So there we go. We've taken that from I want to go on the keto way of eating or the keto lifestyle. Deep down, we've peeled back those layers of the onion until we've got to the point of really understanding that Mike wants to be able to play with his young kids who are growing up and do the sort of activities that every dad wants to be able to do with the kids. Go rock climbing, go fishing, go cycling, go swimming. And right now, perhaps, maybe not for Mike, he's in pretty good shape, but this could be you. This could be you saying, like, right now I'm out of shape, I'm out of condition, I'm carrying a lot of extra weight, I've got a lot of belly fat. So I've heard the keto diet's really good for weight loss. I'll go on this weight loss journey. But digging deeper and really asking yourself the question, why is it I'm doing this? Gives you a much stronger motivator. So Mike adores his kids. If this was Mike, he really wants to get the most out of his kids' life growing up and not miss any of those experiences that a dad really enjoys. And if you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. You really want to be part of your kids' life. You want to have that bond, that connection. And I think for dads and their kids, it's a bit harder to create that connection sometimes, especially when the kids are growing up, maybe that age sort of 6 up to 12. You've got to do things with them, right? You've got to do the activities and form the connections, form the bond.
And it's interesting because then I'm just playing it forward. So then when I'm sitting in front of a plate of donuts at a party and I'm about to reach for the donuts and break my keto diet, I'm not thinking my why is I want to go keto. I'm thinking this donut could lead me down a path where the relationship with my kids could be impacted. That's a far greater why to not have the donut than just because I'm on keto. So we do that process, then we talk about barriers, don't we?
We do, because then we say, well, right, now we understand a bit better what you're trying to achieve, why you want to achieve it, and, we're going to then talk about, well, what is going to be the things that really are barriers or obstacles or challenges along the way. So if you think about, that person, that average dad who's eating the carb-rich diet, they love the pizza, pasta, burgers, they go out with the boys for beers, they go to the game, they do all the social stuff, lots of family engagements. Think of that person. So you got them in your mind, could be you. What are going to be the challenges? So
if we did the top 5 challenges, if you were asking me these questions and if you asked me to think of the top 5 challenges for me going keto, I would say it's the impact on the family, so me eating differently to the family. I would say giving up the beer.
And that's for most guys,
would have
right?
been a big one,
without stereotyping, and a lot of girls too.
I would say that sustaining it, so not just doing it to start with, but keeping it going. I would say preparing food, so getting used to different foods.
So knowing what recipes
being able to eat keto, not because it's a new way of eating for me if I was adapting. And I would say probably the explaining it,
The social side
yeah,
of-
explaining it to friends and work colleagues as to why I'm not having the donut.
Right.
So that social pressure of I'm on keto.
Yeah.
So they're probably my top 5 reasons or top 5 barriers, challenges that I can foresee, even though I want to do it for my kids. And I've got this really strong why. I still recognise I've got those barriers. So what's next?
So the next thing to do, right? So we've written down the goal,
Yes.
and we've written down the why, and it's
true why.
really, really important to write down that why. I want to get in great shape so that I can play with my kids, I can do activities with my kids, and I can form a bond and a connection to my kids. You write that out fully, longhand.
Got to say, because that's a psych thing for those tuning in. It's a psychological embedder when you write a goal out longhand, not just for my kids, but as Lynn's just explained, write it, I want to get in shape because, and write it fully, and that becomes something that's etched in your brain, and you can read it over and over again, and just embeds that core belief as to why you want to go keto.
It does, and it's really important to write it in the first person. So you know, if this was Mike would write down, I want to lose weight, I want to get in shape, I want to be able to play with my kids and do activities, I want to form a bond and a connection with my kids. He'd literally write it out like he was saying it, and that really does tell the brain, this is what I want, not just anybody, and it's not something that can be put aside because it's such a personal thing.
You stick it on the fridge, right where those yummy foods are. So you go to open the fridge, you go, hang on a second, just read before you open the fridge.
Maybe with a nice photo of the kids, right?
Absolutely.
So, you know, we use in psychology to help us achieve. So we've set the scene, we've said, you know, why you want to do it, we've put the photo of the kids alongside it, we've then written down those barriers.
Yes, we have.
You know, 1 per line, okay, it's difficult in social situations, I don't want to give up the beer, I don't have recipes. And then what we'll do is we'll work through each one of those barriers and work out a strategy to overcome it. So for example, if don't know what to cook, don't know what recipes to use is an issue, then you do probably a bit of research, and you find some good bloke recipes, you know, and you figure out what to cook and how to cook it.
Absolutely.
If, you know, I don't want to give up the beers is an issue, then there's ways around that as well. There's low carb beers, there may be alternative drinks.
Yes.
If the social angle is a big issue, and this is a big one
This
for
is a big
people.
one, yeah, for a lot of people. A lot of guys especially, that's the social pressure of, or social pressure of drinking, but social pressures of people just, why are you on keto? What are you doing? Why is, you know, is it good for you? Is it sustainable? There's a lot of people who have their own strong opinions, and they're quite happy to share them, whether it's your friends, family, or colleagues. Happy to tell you that keto is not the right thing to do, or your change of lifestyle is not the right way to go.
And guys don't discuss this sort of thing.
We just
they
do
have
shit.
a crack at each other.
We do.
So you have a go, you know, that's a stupid diet. You know,
You're
you
an
don't want to
idiot.
be doing that. What's wrong with you?
Soft.
Have a beer. You're soft. Come on, have
Princess,
another
you're
beer.
soft, have another beer.
That's it. So you have cracks at each other, but you don't sit down and discuss, well, why are you doing this? What support can I give you, Mike? That's just not the words that are going to fall out of your friend's mouth. So you need to be ready for that situation. You need to work through how you're going to approach it. What are you going to say? Are you going to tell them in advance? What are you going to drink? What are you going to eat? And if we can work through each one of those challenges, and bearing in mind we're thinking about the top 5 challenges, work through each and every one and write that down, then you've now got a plan for how you're going to approach your keto lifestyle for the next 30 days, and until the point where it's become a habit, you've seen a result, and you're already finding you can play with the kids, and you've got the better bond.
So the 5 whys, you've got the barriers, and then you've got the whats. What are you
am I
going to
gonna
do?
do?
What's the plan? So the whys, the barriers, and the whats. So Lynn, what do you want to do?
I want to get better sleep.
Lynn, why do you want to get better sleep?
And I should say at this point, and this is really true, I do sleep really, really well.
Like the dead.
I do pretty much sleep like the dead. I sleep great in the sense of I get lots of deep sleep and I get REM sleep, I get good quality, but I just don't feel I sleep enough. So I'd like to sleep longer.
Why do you want to sleep longer?
Well, I have read that if you don't sleep very long, it puts you at risk of lots of diseases and lots of issues, lots of medical conditions. So I feel that I give the advice to everybody else, I should take my own medicine.
Why do you want to take your own medicine? Why do you feel that you need to do what you say?
Well, if I look at it and I look at my family history, then there's lots of lots of cases of different forms of ill health in my family. So I think I should do even more. I'm in pretty good shape. I work out a lot. I eat really well, but I just have this feeling that maybe I'm exposing myself to a bit of disease risk.
Cool. So we could go deeper and look at So why are you scared of your disease risk?
I'm not scared of it, but what
Yes,
I
you are.
know is that we have a history of mental illness in the family in later life.
I would say the history is right here now. Sitting in front of me is the absolute history of mental
I'm
illness.
a Fruit Loop. It is confirmed. I'm a complete.
We don't have to wait any longer. It's here.
That's
She's
it.
arrived.
I'm here.
Mental illness on legs.
But we have a lot of history of Alzheimer's and dementia
Yes.
in the family. And what we know is that there are all sorts of contributors to Alzheimer's and dementia. Things like diet is a massive contributor, sugar, carbs, all those sort of foods. But we also know that sleep is a contributor. We know that during our deepest forms of sleep, our brain is literally going through a cleanup process. It's like the street sweepers. I always use the street sweepers. It's like the street sweepers. It comes at night and it really cleans out the crap in the brain, the amyloid plaques and that sort of thing. Now, those are the things that often cause Alzheimer's, dementia. So because I've got a family history of it, I know I need to protect my brain. And I know one of the best things that I can do is get lots of sleep. And so I really feel that if I want to avoid and prevent those sort of conditions, I should be sleeping more.
It's a very long answer, but you got there. So we started off with, I want to get more sleep, and now we've got a compelling reason, compelling why, as to why you want to get more sleep, because you've dug through I need to role model, I do what I say what I do, right down to family history, right down to compelling health reason as to why you want to get more sleep. So now we've done that bit, the next step in the process is look at barriers. Because for you to get more sleep, there is going to be some barriers.
Easy ones.
What are they? What do you see as the top 5 barriers to you extending the amount of sleep you get?
Biggest one for me, and it's always been the case, is I am a workaholic. I love what I do. I love it. I've got clients all around the world, and I will stay awake as long as I can just to help another person. So work is the big one for me.
So forgetting the other 4, go on that one. What are you going to do about the workaholic side of you, and how are you going to combat that?
Well, I think it's a really interesting one, because there's always another email, there's always another direct message, there's always another
It's you people
video.
tuning in to ask us questions.
That's
Your
it.
fault that Lynn doesn't sleep ever.
Always another video to post, there's always another piece of advice, there's another recipe.
Someone in need.
There is always someone in need.
There is.
And I love helping people, so I absolutely adore it. I love it. It's my passion.
So get to the fix.
I'm not sure what the fix is. No, I'm kidding. The fix for me is is saying that there is a certain curfew, there is a time that I will down tools. And the real fix for me is having an accountability partner, somebody that will check in on me and say, "Oi,
Are you still up?
have you stopped working
It's
yet?
1 a.m. when you're still up.
Have you down tools? Have you stopped working?" And recognising the fact the work will last till the next day. Somebody will be sympathetic to the fact that it was 1 o'clock in the morning and I needed some sleep.
Yes.
And I'll be able to answer their questions in the morning. So for me, it really is having the strict curfew, the strict wind down time at whatever it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, down tools, switch off the devices, enough's enough, it's time for sleep.
Yep.
And then just getting that support to get somebody to check in on me.
So in your example, you would have taken I want to increase the amount of sleep and would have longhand written out your compelling why. Then you would have gone through all the barriers.
That's it.
All the barriers you can potentially see that would prevent you from getting the sleep that you want to combat a potential medical condition. Then you would have workshopped in your little head as to how you're going to overcome those, and that would have given you absolute clarity on whether that compelling why, that real reason, is achievable.
And by actually stating what the 5 challenges are,
Yes.
you're sort of admitting it.
You are.
And then by writing it down again, you're reinforcing that to yourself, so you're not going to, hide from it. So for me to say, I am a workaholic and I need somebody to help me, I need somebody to check in on me, I'm admitting to it, and I'm saying to myself, it's okay. It's
Yes.
okay to admit that, and now I've got help, I've got support, so I can do it. So when the situation arises, then I am much more likely to comply, switch off and do the things that I need to do. And that's the psychology behind it.
So I've got a challenge for the guys tuning in. I believe if you're excited by this episode, which you should be, the compelling why, if you're listening and you think this may work for you, could be either starting out on your wellness journey, or you could be in the middle of it and getting a bit stale and jaded, or you just want to reset your goals. This is a great exercise to step back and say, why am I doing this? And then asking yourself those 5 questions, why, getting down to that compelling why, so finding your why, going through the barriers routine, going through the what am I going to do to overcome them, then being able to write out the long goal, as we've spoken about, and then email it to us or send it to us or message it to us.
Message it, direct message, put it in the comments on the podcast or the vlog, put it anywhere. We will pick up whatever you choose, whatever method
pick up anything you throw down.
Send it. I will, but not at 1 o'clock in the morning.
No.
I will
If
pick
it's
it
1
up.
o'clock, you can write back and say, go to bed, Lynn. But send it through to us, because I think it'd be really exciting to see what your compelling why is, that you've gone through the process of identifying your compelling why, and that may help you make it sustainable, make it achievable, get the long goal, get the things you deserve.
Absolutely. And we're talking about goals. It is coming up to that time of year where people start to procrastinate and put their goals off to the new year.
Yep.
Don't do it. Do it now. Just start. Do the process, follow the process, and we'll help you get the results you deserve.
Because you deserve it. And we'll see you again next time on The Pig's Life.
For sure.